We're Radioactive Talk. Talk Radio 850. Email Doug at DougTalks.com. Find him on Facebook and Twitter. Now, once again, here's Doug.
I'm not Doug. I'm actually Dave Richmond. Doug is on vacation today, spring training in Florida, and you can go to the Braves game and hang out with him, or you can simply, the easiest way is just to hang out with us. Call us right now, 919-860-9783, 919-860-9783. Why, you ask? Well, I tell you why, because right now we're going to have an expert on relationships, or at least I hope so, because I'm not an expert on them. I'm doing really well with my marriage now, and Anthony's married. Let's bring in Steve the Dean Williams. Welcome in, sir, to the Morning Drive.
Thank you for having me on. How are you doing, big dog?
I am doing really well. That was actually my last station, but that's a whole other story. I wanted to bring you in because you are a relationship expert. It's Friday. I want to have fun. And I've got to say that with men and women today, there's all these kind of dating sites, and people are doing crazy things to get that perfect person or what they want the perfect person. But do you have any advice for men to start out with? I'm a guy, so what can you help us out with today? How can we relate to women better?
Well, the problem is too many guys are trying to relate to women instead of just being the man that they need to be.
Okay.
We're stuck in this matrix where you have to buy the gifts, you have to bend over backwards, you gotta get her dinner, you gotta do this, or you're gonna get in trouble. You gotta buy the jewelry, you gotta buy the chocolate and the flowers. And I'm saying you don't have to do that. I'm saying the most you should spend on a woman on the first date is $2.
What? $2?
Yes.
Oh man, I would never get a second date if I did that. I'm glad I'm married, man.
Yeah, tell me more.
Well, think about it, guys. Go to the store and buy a loaf of bread, and then go to the pond and feed the ducks. That's all you need to do. Because what a lot of women are doing today is that they're going around. They have a wheel, and they roll it. Okay, it's Monday. I'll go out with John. It's Tuesday. I'll go with Mike. It's Wednesday. I'll go with Rob. And all they're doing is getting free meals.
Oh man, so that's why you say I saw where you said say no to dinner dates.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, coffee date. If you don't want to spend $2, guys, we'll up it to $7 and buy her coffee.
$7 for a cup of coffee?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the beautiful thing about.
I'm taking her to the convenience store and buying her coffee there for like $1.50.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's cheaper, $1.50. See, you save money, guys. Because what a lot of guys don't realize is that the woman is going after our last name and our ring, so she should have to qualify for us to want her to be our wives.
Oh man, 919. How do you feel about this? 919-860-9783. 919-860-9783. We're talking to Steve the Dean Williams, a relation expert, and I'm sure people are going to call in. 919-860-9783 is the number. What about ladies? What do you say to them when they say to you, Steve, I can't find a guy. I just can't. I get that same guy over and over again. What do you say to them?
Well, I say again, ladies, you have to learn how to submit. Remember, you have to put out what I call a relationship resume. You have to show the man why he should choose you. That's why you should do things, and this is going to sound crazy, but not only submit, but every once in a while, show your man how much you care about him by washing his feet with your hair.
Oh, my.
Love.
Oh, my goodness. 919-860-9783, 919-860-9783. Hang on, Steve. We've got traffic and weather, and we'll come.
The Morning Drive with Doug Kellett. Grab your cup of coffee. Call in at 919-860-9783.
You're listening to The Morning Drive with Doug Kellett. Doug will be back on Monday. I'm Dave Richmond, and right now with us, we have Steve the Dean Williams. He's actually a relationship expert. It's Friday. We're having fun. 919-860-9783, 919-860-9783. That's the number to call in. In fact, if you missed it, Steve says you only have to spend $2 on the first date, guys. So I'm glad to hear about that. He says no to dinner dates because ladies love to have just free meals. And also, I see here, Steve, you also say why people should stay away from internet dating. A lot of people on Match.com and all the different dating sites, you say no. Why?
Well, because it's a lie. We're lying to ourselves. We put out what I call our best foot forward, trying to put that fake person out. You know, the woman holding the puppy in one hand, but maybe the knife in the back on the other side, or the crazy guy smiling on one side, and then he's got the rope and chains behind his back. You just don't know what you're dealing with nowadays when it comes to dating. So I'm all about meeting people face to face, and not on this matrix.
I agree with you. I had some bad experiences. The worst I had was where the profile picture, this was about 12 years ago, and the person, she was actually 30 or 40 pounds heavier when I met her in person. And, so that was like the end of my internet dating career.
As it should be, and you should have rolled her over to Jenny Craig. See, that's the problem that we're dealing with nowadays. This is not the early 90s where women didn't realize they could lie about pictures and things like that. Now they do all this catfishing, so I'd stay off the net.
You got a question for him, Anthony?
Well, I understand where he's coming from with the whole thing with $2 only on the first date.
Tell your story. He's got a story for you, Steve. You got to hear this, Steve. You got to hear this, Steve. The women are going to call in on this one.
Okay, so I actually used to do that a lot. I would walk my prospective girlfriend around a mall, and we'd go to the Haynes Mall in Winston-Salem, matter of fact, and I'd buy her just a cookie in the local cookie store that is about $2. But to your point, the reason why you do that is it enables you to exchange dialogue. Am I right? And get to learn and go back and forth.
Yes. You know what, man? The problem is that a lot of guys can't talk, and they do the boring Bob conversations at dinner because, think about it, you got to pick her up, you have to talk. You drive to the place, you have to talk. You have to sit down and wait to be seated, you have to talk. When they do the appetizers, you have to talk. When they do the drinks, you have to talk. Yada, yada, yada. So these guys begin to be like, what do you like in a guy? Where do you go to school at? You know, all these boring conversations where she's like, you know what, I'm just going to take him for his meal, give him a nice hug, and then find the a-hole to sleep with.
Oh my. Okay, yeah. Let's go to we got a caller for you. Steve, call right now 919-860-9783 919-860-9783. Let's bring in Don in Apex. Welcome into the Morning Drive with Doug Kellett.
Hi, how you doing, guys? I'm just calling. I'm in a relation. I've been married to a woman 7 years who I met on the internet.
Okay.
And everything did work out fine. And the comment you just made is, I understand the thing. You don't want to. There's a lot of wackos out there, and that's true. But, I mean, you walk into a bar or you walk into some place where you look at somebody face-to-face, that's the first time you know anything about them. You go on the internet, you talk to somebody for maybe 3 or 4 times, at least you know something about them, then you meet them. If they're not the right person, all right, fine. You know, they lied on their thing, you just walk away. But, I mean, the bottom line is at least you learn something about the person before you meet them outside. I think it's a great idea just so you can learn, you know, something. Rather than just meeting somebody. You don't know. You meet somebody face-to-face, you know what kind of whack job they are anyway.
They could be an axe murderer, right?
Yeah, exactly. So at least you talk to them, you can pick out something they're saying or something that they're doing that gives you some incline about what this person's like.
So you're saying you use it as a screener, kind of use the internet as the screen.
It's like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I was divorced. I got divorced about 12, 13 years ago, and until I met my wife now. When I was dating, I mean, it was a great way to meet people. And I mean, granted, there were a couple times I met somebody who lied and they would whack, but I just walked away. I said, this ain't going to work, goodbye. But at least I knew them before I actually met them in the place, wherever I did meet them. If I met them for dinner or whatever, I knew something about them as opposed to just meeting somebody brand new.
All right. Thank you very much, Don. Appreciate it. In fact, he's right. There are some people that are very successful. I failed miserably at that at internet dating. So I'm not saying this as to each his own. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I understand what he's saying, but see, with the internet, it gives women a chance to really lie about things. And the problem is we're falling in love with words and phrases and not the person like face to face. And the worst thing is, well, what's good about the internet is you can find out all the male friends she has. Because I don't believe men and women should be, if we're dating, there are no male friends. You got to get rid of the male friends. You can see on Facebook they have a lot of guys that want to sleep with them.
There you go. Wow. So you're like the movie When Harry Met Sally. How Harry said that the guys couldn't have girls that were just women that were just friends.
Oh,
remember that?
Show me a lion that hangs out with a zebra, and I'll quit what I'm doing.
Steve, the Dean Williams relation expert, my friend, we're out of time, but thank you so much. A lot of fun, and he will be back on, I'm sure, from time to time. Thanks so much, and definitely have a great weekend.
Well, you know what? Thank you. You have a wonderful weekend. And, guys, if y'all want to check me out, manmindset.com.
I checked it out this morning. It's a lot of fun. Themanmindset.com. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
919-860-9783, 919-860.